I'm Jacqueline Sarkissian in for Dana Huey. Thank you for joining us for CBS 19 this morning. I don't think we have to remind you, but it's going to be another hot day, so if you have to be outside, please be careful. Needless to say, it was a rough day for an elderly West Virginia woman and her 2 dogs. She left her car running in the parking lot of Walmart. Thank you, Ashley. One couple took the plunge literally on the Fury roller coaster in Charlotte, North Carolina. Happening today, a memorial service will be held this afternoon in Kansas for the 10-year-old boy killed while riding a water park slide. The sports world is remembering longtime ESPN broadcaster John Saunders. He died yesterday morning, but it's still unclear how. You guys saw me before. I had how many things?
She tried a couple different green outfits, and none of them were green enough.
For most of us out here, and Jacqueline, where did your face go?
Where's my face?
Oh, there she is.
I finally did it.
She succeeded, ladies and gentlemen. There she goes. Let's give it up for Jacqueline.
In just a few days, the new statewide campus carry law takes effect across the state. It's been raining off and on all day, and seems like that will be the case throughout the entire weekend. Every year, ETMC picks a very special person to serve as its ambassador. This is the daycare that 5-year-old Camden attended. You can see over here behind me 3 people killed and 1 injured early this morning at a party in Washington. It is officially set up, so all parents and students need to do once they arrive on campus, just come behind here like I'm doing right now. We know he's known as Johnny Football. Well, my friends call him Johnny Footballed. They made this fathead. So this is where St. Gregory the Illuminator stayed for 13 years. I've been sitting in this car for a few minutes now. The car is off, the windows are down, the air is off. I was here earlier today and the square was full of people paying their respects for the 5 officers killed and showing support for their families. The event was open to everyone, and as you can see, people brought flowers, balloons, and blue ribbon to show that they backed the blue.
Today's vigil served as a reminder that something must be done to stop these types of shootings from happening.
We need to talk. We need to talk with each other. We need to understand different races. We're a melting pot, and the more we understand about different races and the more respect we have for different ethnic groups, the better off we'll be.
Oliver Willis is one of many who attended the vigil, and for him, the Dallas shooting hits close to home.
It affected me deeply. Number one, I have some relatives that are in law enforcement. It was a strike against, against decency.
Unlike Willis, a lot of people came here today because they felt it was their civic duty.
Just to support the police officers. They risk their lives every day for us, and I don't feel like they get the support they need.
Lord, we thank you for these men and women that daily sacrifice their lives to do the job that you've called them to do.
The service started with a prayer for the 5 killed in Thursday's sniper attack.
Officer Brent Allen Thompson.
Their names were individually called out as a white flower was placed in front of their picture. Tyler Police Chief Jimmy Toller says he didn't personally know the officers killed, but that doesn't matter. A tragic event like this affects officers everywhere.
In law enforcement, we do consider ourselves a family where we want to stand together, and when we go through hardships, we want to recognize that to the families there and also the ones that we've lost, that we remember them and we're always going to remember them.
And he tells me how the Tyler Police Department is trying to prevent a shooting like the one in Dallas from happening in Smith County.
To make sure that even through this growing process that we keep those lines of communication open so that we're available to everybody and that we have the ability to talk about problems or things that come up in our community so we can work through them prior to anything happening.
These are some of the hopefuls hoping to become the 45th President of the United States. And in the small city of Hawkins, where only 1,278 people live, Calvis L. Hawes is one of them.
Really? In Hawkins. Where does he live?
That's the reaction I got from all the neighbors. Hawes is on the ballot and registered as a Democrat. One neighbor who didn't want to go on camera could not believe it when I told him. He says Hawes wouldn't even join their lake association.
It's cool.
Very surprising. Yeah, there's only 1,300 people here. So that's pretty surprising.
I even tried searching him on Facebook and found nothing. So would you like an East Texan in the White House? Would you vote for him?
No, I'd have to meet him first. I'd have to know him. I wouldn't vote on him just because he lives in the same place.
Yes, I would, but I'm not old enough to vote for anybody yet.
Did you know Micah Johnson?
No. Did I know him? No. Have I met him? Yes. Been in his house once.
Jim Otwell is one of the few people in this Mesquite suburb that actually met the Dallas gunman.
The only reason we even initiated a conversation with me is because he had some assault weapons stolen from his house.
Johnson claimed to be a U.S. Army veteran. Inside of his home, Dallas police say detectives found bomb-making materials, ballistic vests, rifles, ammunition, and a personal journal of combat tactics. Monica Jacobs lives in the neighborhood and says she went to high school with Micah. She didn't know him, but was shocked to find him in her yearbook.
It's actually him. He's pretty, looks like the picture, just lost a little weight, but it's actually him. So it's pretty mind-blowing. I just found out this morning that he lived like kind of down the street, so I was like, wow.
Jamoy Walton had heard the news of the ambush in Dallas, but didn't know the shooter lived down the street from him until we broke the news.
Really surprised. Like, I didn't know the shooter would be living in my neighborhood. You know, this is a pretty peaceful neighborhood for one, but yeah, it's pretty shocking.
Police say Micah acted alone and wasn't affiliated with any groups. Authorities also said he admitted he wanted to kill white people, especially white officers, which is a surprise for some neighbors who say their community is a diverse one.
They're Caucasian, they're African American, they're Caucasian, they're I think Vietnamese, they're Hispanic, so it's a variety of races here.